6 things your boss really meant to say. I'm Chris, this is the Office Survival Guide. I do videos to give you the skills, not just to survive the office week, but to crush it. And in this video, I'm gonna be sharing with you some things your boss said and what your boss really meant to say when they said that. The first one is when your boss says one-on-one to you, hey, would you like to volunteer for this? Or are you available to help me with this? They're really not asking this as a question that has a lot of different responses. If they're asking you if you're willing to volunteer for it and they're asking you one-on-one, what they're really saying is they're really saying, I would like you to volunteer for this. I'm a nice person, and so I don't want to direct you to do this, but hey, help me out and say yes and do it with a smile. If they say, are you available to help me with something? Pretty much the only opportunities they're looking for no is if your family is sick, your pet's sick, you're going on vacation in an hour and your boss just forgot. Those are the things you could say no on, not the, no, I can't help you because I'm too busy with other things. If they've come to you one-on-one and they're asking for your help or asking you to volunteer, they really want you to find a way to say yes. Oh, and by the way, when your boss asks you if you'd like to volunteer, this is where the phrase, I've been voluntold come from. Yes, you've been asked to volunteer, but you've kind of been voluntold, because they've been telling you you have just volunteered. Number 2, when you've got a big presentation coming up or you're writing an assignment and your boss asks you, hey, would you like me to review that with you? They really want to review that with you. Basically, when they ask you that question, they're essentially saying, I'm not comfortable with the product that I think you have, and I would like to take some time with you to give you some feedback on it to make it better. So if your boss ever asks if you would like them to review it with you, you should say yes, because your boss is actually taking time out of their day to try and make your product better. If you say no, nah, I got it, your boss might back off and say, okay, fine. But then what they're really thinking in their head is, okay, well, then you better have some other people review it. This better be perfect, because if it's not, then off with your head. Number 3, when your boss gives you assignment and they ask you, hey, when do you think you can get this done by? And you give an answer like Friday. What your boss really meant to say when they were asking, when do you think you can get this done by, is they're really asking for, hey, what is a deadline that we can both mutually agree upon? And when you give me a date, I'm pretty much gonna hold you to that, because I've got other things I need to do with that thing that you're gonna give to me. And so when you say Friday and your boss says, great, what your boss is essentially saying is, great, I've now committed you to that. I am expecting it. If you don't give it to me by Friday, you're going to be late. And if I don't hassle you next week, well, in my brain, I'm going to think you are late. So when your boss asks you, when can you get it done by, give them a date that you'll actually have it done by, commit to it, and don't be late. And if you are gonna be late, well, that was a previous video where I was talking about make sure you let them know ahead of time, because it wasn't just your thought or your feeling, you've essentially committed to your boss at that point. Number 4 is when your boss says to you, hey, can I get a status update on that thing you're working on? This usually happens when you have a long-term project, like you've got a week-long project, a month-long project, a 6-month-long project. When your boss says, can I get a status update, what they really meant to say was, I have no idea what you're doing. So can you please tell me what it is that you're doing and where it is? And so when they're asked, can I get one? Again, no is not an appropriate answer. The answer is yes. You give them a status update, and then since you've taken away from that they have no idea what you're doing, you should really figure out how you give them more regular status updates in the future so they actually know what it is you're doing. Number 5, when your boss says to you, hey, have you considered taking training in this area, and this area is something completely different from what you do, like you're in the underwater basket weaving department and they ask you if you're interested in taking training in artificial intelligence, they're not really looking for the answer of no, because you probably haven't been thinking about it. What they're really trying to say when they ask you if you've considered taking training in some sideways area is they're saying, hey, I recognize as your boss that the company is moving into this area, and if you had skill sets in this area, that would be good for the company and that would be good for you. The other thing they might be saying is, your skills have kind of atrophied because you've been here for a really long time, and if you want your career to move forward, then you really need to take this training. And again, you might be thinking, you know, my degree, I have a 4-year degree in psychic reading, and so why should I learn artificial intelligence? So when your boss is asking you that question, maybe ask them to expand a little bit more. Well, if you had that degree in psychic reading, you probably could read their mind, and you don't need to ask them to expand, just read their mind. But that's really what you want in a lot of these cases, right, is to figure out what it is your boss really means behind what they say, because a lot of bosses won't come out and tell you. And why is this the case? Well, certainly in the US, a lot of bosses, they don't want to hurt your feelings. They want to be nice, and so they're not super direct about really what their intentions are. So now the 6th thing that your boss might say, and they really mean something else, and this kind of brings us back to number 1, when they ask if you'd be willing to volunteer. But this is one when they do it in like a big team meeting. You're in a team meeting and your boss says, hey, would anybody be willing to volunteer for this? Or would anybody like to volunteer for this? When they're in a team meeting, what your boss is saying is your boss saying, I need somebody to help me with this. And either one of you is going to volunteer right now, or later I'm going to approach you in the hallway and voluntold you. So you might as well volunteer if it's something that doesn't seem too awful to you, because you might end up getting voluntold. The other thing that's kind of behind that, if it's like a short-term thing, your boss might be saying, look, I am really underwater right now. I really need help. But they don't actually come out and say that when they ask for if anybody would be willing to help me on this. And so if you help them, the underlying thing they also meant to say was, and so if somebody would volunteer, I would really appreciate it. I'd be really grateful. And so don't you want to be the person that your boss appreciates? I bet you do. And by the way, I bet you're wondering, where am I shooting this video? Where is this place right here? This place is Newport Beach, California. In addition to this channel, I got a whole channel on travel videos, so you do great at work. Then you'll be relaxed to come out here and have a great weekend in Newport Beach. You could watch my video right here on Balboa Island, or you could click over here to watch my playlist of all of the videos I've done so far on the Office Survival Guide. Well, I won't say goodbye because I'll see you in one of these videos.